I walked into my bedroom and saw my best friend wearing my silk nightgown, sitting on my bed with my husband. They were laughing, comfortable, like they belonged together, like I was the intruder in my own home. What happened next destroyed 3 families, exposed 6 months of lies, ended in a public confrontation that left everyone in tears and transformed me from a trusting wife into a woman who fights back. This is my story. Every word is true, and I'm telling you everything.
You can't catch
My
me!
name is
Yes.
Chidima, and this story begins with trust. The kind of trust that destroys you when it's broken. Amaka wasn't just my best friend. She was my sister. We grew up together in Enugu, sharing secrets under the mango tree behind my mother's house, dreaming about our futures, planning our weddings down to the color of the bridesmaids' dresses. We shared everything: clothes, heartbreaks, prayers, dreams. When one of us hurt, the other felt it. That's how close we were. So when I got engaged to Chidi, tall, handsome, successful Chidi with his engineering degree and his smile that made my knees weak, Amaka was the first person I told. She screamed so loud, my neighbors came running. She cried. She hugged me for 10 minutes straight. And when I asked her to be my chief bridesmaid, she cried even more. "Sister, I'm so happy for you," she said, wiping her tears. "You deserve this. You deserve everything." I believed her. Our wedding was spectacular. 300 guests at the Civic Center in Lagos, a live band that had everyone dancing until midnight. My dress cost more than my first car, a fitted mermaid gown from Dubai with a 10-foot train. And Chidi looked at me that day like I was the only woman in the world. But you know who cried the most at my wedding? Not my mother. Not Chidi's mother. Amaka. She stood beside me in her champagne silk bridesmaid's gown, tears streaming down her beautiful face through the entire ceremony. During the vows, during the kiss, during the reception, people kept joking. Amaka, are you the one getting married? Why are you crying more than the bride?" We all laughed. If only we knew, those weren't tears of joy. Those were tears of jealousy. Tears of a woman who wanted what I had. Tears of a woman already planning to take it. The first 3 months of my marriage were blissful. Chidi and I were still in that honeymoon phase where everything is perfect. He'd come home from work and sweep me into his arms. We'd cook together, laugh at nothing, fall asleep tangled in each other. I thought, this is it. This is what happiness feels like. But then I started noticing things. Small things at first. Amaka began visiting our house a lot, like almost every day. She'd show up with food. "Sister, I made your favorite egusi soup." Or with gossip. "Sister, you won't believe what happened at church." Always with an excuse, always with a smile. But here's what bothered me. She would come when I was at work, when Chidi was home alone. I'd come home and find evidence of her visit. An extra plate in the sink, the lingering smell of her perfume, that expensive Chanel No. 5 she always wore. Sometimes I would find her earring on the couch or her lipstick in the bathroom.
Oh, sister, I just came to check on you guys. I brought some food for Chidi since you were at work.
It sounded reasonable, thoughtful even. Best friends do that, right? Take care of their husbands. But something in my spirit said, no, something is wrong. Then came the night that changed everything. It was 2 a.m. I was deep asleep when Chidi's phone rang. That loud, jarring ringtone shattered the silence. He grabbed it so fast, and I mean fast, and cut the call before it rang twice. I sat up. Who was that? He barely looked at me. Wrong number. At 2 a.m.? Yeah, you know these scammers. Go back to sleep. But I had seen the screen. Just for a split second before he cut it off, I saw the name, Amaka, with a heart emoji. I didn't sleep the rest of that night. I lay there in the dark, listening to Chidi's breathing, my mind racing. Why was Amaka calling my husband at 2 a.m.? And why did he have a heart emoji next to her name? The next morning, I called her. Amaka, did you try to call Chidi last night? She laughed, that bright, carefree laugh I'd known for 20 years. No now. Why would I? I saw your name on his phone around 2 a.m. There was a pause, just a tiny hesitation. Then, oh, I was trying to call you. Maybe I dialed his number by mistake. You know their numbers are similar in my phone. It sounded reasonable, plausible. I wanted to believe her, but that voice in my spirit whispered again, don't believe her. Something is wrong. Then came that Saturday. Voice tension building. I told Chidi I was going to the market. I got dressed, grabbed my bag, started my car, and drove away. But I didn't go to the market. I parked down the street where I could see our house, but they couldn't see me. I waited. 30 minutes later, Amaka's car pulled up. She got out looking like she was going to a party. Fitted dress, full makeup, hair done. She walked to my front door with her spare key. The spare key I had given her for emergencies. And let herself in.
My best friend had a key to my house. I waited 1 hour, 1 full hour, watching my own house, feeling my heart pound in my chest, my hands shaking on the steering wheel. Then I drove back home. Quietly, I packed, took off my heels so they wouldn't hear me coming, and used my own key to unlock the door. I could hear them immediately in the living room, talking, laughing, comfortable. I tiptoed closer, my heart hammering so loud I thought they'd hear it. And then I heard Amaka say, "When are you going to tell her the truth, Chidi?" My heart stopped. Chidi sighed. "Amaka, it's not easy. She loves me." Amaka laughed. But it wasn't her bright, happy laugh. It was bitter, cold. "But you don't love her anymore. You told me that." I grabbed the wall to keep from falling. My legs felt like water. My vision blurred. Chidi said nothing. His silence was the loudest answer. Amaka continued, and every word was a knife. "You said you married her because of pressure, because your family wanted it. You said you never really loved her like that." I stood there in my own hallway, barefoot, listening to my husband and my best friend discuss how he never really loved me, how I was just convenient, a family obligation. Then Amaka said something that made my blood freeze. "Chidi, we've been planning this for months. You promised me." Months, not weeks, months. They had been planning whatever this was for months. I couldn't listen anymore. Something inside me snapped. I burst into that living room like thunder. They froze. Both of them, Chidi half standing from the couch, Amaka with her mouth open mid-sentence. And I looked at both of them and asked one question. "Planning what, Amaka?" The room went silent, dead silent. You could hear the AC humming, the clock ticking, our breathing. Amaka's eyes went wide. Chidi went pale, and I just stood there, barefoot in my own living room, staring at the two people who were supposed to love me most in this world. "Babe," Chidi started, hands up like I was a wild animal. "Babe, I can explain." "Explain what?" My voice didn't even sound like mine. "Explain that you don't love me? Explain that you've been planning something behind my back for months?" Amaka jumped up. "Sister, it's not what you think. Don't call me sister." I screamed it so loud she flinched. "Don't you dare call me sister. Sisters don't do this."
She started crying. Those same tears she cried at my wedding. "I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean." "You didn't mean what?" I cut her off. "You didn't mean to fall in love with my husband. You didn't mean to sneak into my house when I'm not here. You didn't mean to plan whatever you are planning for months." I turned to Chidi. "How long have you been sleeping with her?" His face went white. I'm not sleeping with her." And you know what happened? Amaka's head snapped up. She looked at him. And in that moment, I saw it. I saw the hurt flash across her face. She wanted him, maybe even loved him. But he was lying to her too. He was using both of us. I looked at Amaka. Really looked at her. "You are in love with my husband, aren't you?" She opened her mouth, closed it, then whispered, "I'm sorry. Just, I'm sorry." That's all she said. I felt sick, literally sick to my stomach. Chidi tried to touch my hand and I slapped it away so hard my palm stung. "Get out, Amaka." She didn't move. I said, "Get out of my house." She grabbed her purse and ran like a coward. She ran out of my house, out of my life, leaving me standing there with my lying husband. And then Chidi said something that destroyed me completely. "I'm glad you know now, because I want a divorce." Just like that. I want a divorce. Like our marriage was a subscription he wanted to cancel. Like 3 years together meant nothing. Like I meant nothing. I stared at him. This man I cooked for, prayed for, loved with everything in me. "You want a divorce?" I whispered. He nodded. "I'm not happy anymore. I haven't been for a long time." "So, you used my best friend to destroy me?" "I didn't use anyone," he said coldly. "Amaka and I, we understand each other." I laughed, a crazy, broken laugh. "So, you do love her?" He looked away. That silence told me everything. But here's what he didn't expect. He expected me to cry, to beg, to fall apart. Instead, I wiped my tears. I looked him dead in the eye and I said, "Fine. You want to leave? Leave." He looked surprised, like he'd been waiting for me to plead. But I was done. Done crying, done begging, done being made a fool. I walked to our bedroom, locked the door, and that night, sitting on the floor of that bathroom, I made a decision. A decision that would change everything. I didn't go back downstairs that night. I drove to my mother's house in Usuka. When she opened the door and saw my face, she knew. I told her everything. Everything. The late night calls, the visits, the conversation I overheard, the divorce demand. My mother cried. Then she got angry. That boy, that wicked boy, and Amaka, that girl I welcomed into my home like my own daughter. She held my face in her hands. "My daughter, you will not let them win. Do you hear me?" "Yes, Mama. We will deal with them, but smartly." And that's exactly what we did. The next morning, I went back home. Chidi was surprised to see me. "Where were you?" he asked. I smiled sweetly. "I went to pray, my husband, to pray for our marriage." He looked confused. "Good." For the next 2 weeks, I played the perfect wife. I cooked his favorite meals. I smiled. I laughed. I acted like nothing happened. But behind the scenes, I was moving money. Our joint account into my personal account. I was collecting documents, marriage certificates, property deeds, car papers, everything. And most importantly, I was recording everything. Because my mother's friend, a lawyer, told me exactly what to do. "Get evidence," she said. "Get everything on record. Because if you are going to fight, fight with proof." So that's what I did. I remembered Chidi always left his phone charging in the living room at night. Always, every single night. One night, I waited until he was snoring. Then I crept out to the living room. Shh. My hands were shaking as I picked up his phone. I knew his password, our wedding date. The irony. I opened his messages, and what I saw made my blood run cold. Messages, hundreds of messages between him and Amaka, going back 6 months. Not 3 months like I thought, 6 months. They'd been planning this since before we even had problems. They created the problems. I scrolled through, my heart pounding, tears streaming down my face. And then I saw a message that made me freeze. Don't worry, baby. Once we get rid of her, we can finally be together. My voice shaking. Get rid of her? Those words played in my head over and over. Get rid of her. Get rid of me. What did that mean? Divorce? Or something worse? I kept scrolling. More messages, more plans. Then I found photos. Photos of them at hotels, at restaurants, holding hands, kissing. My husband and my best friend living a whole secret life behind my back. I wanted to scream. I wanted to throw that phone across the room, but I didn't. Instead, I took screenshots. Every single message, every photo, everything. I sent them all to my email, multiple emails just to be safe. Then I put his phone back exactly where it was. I went back to bed, and for the first time in weeks, I smiled because now I had power. The next morning, Chidi acted normal. He even kissed my forehead, like he wasn't planning to destroy me, like he wasn't texting another woman about getting rid of me. I smiled back and let him think I knew nothing. For 1 more week, I gathered evidence. I recorded conversations. I documented every time Amaka visited. I took photos of them together through our window. And then I made a plan that would expose them in the most devastating way possible. I invited both families over for lunch. Chidi's parents, his sisters, Amaka's mother, her brothers, even my own family. When Chidi asked what was going on, I smiled sweetly. Just a small family gathering, my love. I want to celebrate us. He looked nervous, but he couldn't say no without seeming suspicious. Everyone arrived at 2 p.m. The house was full. Everyone was eating, drinking, laughing. Amaka wasn't there yet. I told her to come at 3 p.m. I wanted everyone else there first. At 2:30, I stood up. Thank you all for coming, I said loudly. The room went quiet, all eyes on me. I called you here today because I have something important to share. Chidi's mother smiled. Are you pregnant? I almost laughed. No, ma, not pregnant. I pulled out my laptop, connected it to the TV. Chidi's face went white. What are you doing? He whispered. I ignored him. I pressed play. The video filled the screen. Chidi and Amaka in our living room, holding hands, kissing. The room gasped collectively like one giant intake of breath. Chidi jumped up. Turn it off! I didn't. The video continued. Their voices filled the room. I love you, Chidi. I love you too, baby. Just a little longer. Pause. Chidi's mother screamed, Jesus! His father stood up, face red with fury. What is this? I paused the video. Her mother stood up slowly, looked at the TV screen, looked at her daughter. And then she slapped her. The sound echoed through the whole room. Amaka held her cheek, tears streaming. Mama, shut up, her mother yelled. You are sleeping with your friend's husband? Amaka started sobbing. Mama, I'm sorry. I didn't mean. You didn't mean what? Her mother screamed. You are a disgrace. Chidi tried to speak. It's not what it looks like. His father cut him off. Shut your mouth, boy. I pressed play again. Now the audio came on. Chidi's voice, clear as day. We'll make her live with nothing. We can make her look crazy, unstable. The room went silent. Even the children stopped playing. Chidi's mother looked at him with tears in her eyes. "My son, you wanted to destroy this girl?" Chidi said nothing. His father walked toward him, and for the first time in his life, Chidi's father raised his hand and struck him across the face. Chidi stumbled back, holding his cheek, shocked. "Don't call me Papa," his father roared. "You are not my son. A son of mine would never treat his wife like this." Amaka's mother dragged her toward the door. "We are leaving now." "Mama, please," I said, "now." Amaka looked at me one last time, her eyes begging for mercy. I looked away. She left. The room was still tense. My own mother stood up, walked over to Chidi, looked him dead in the eye. "You will sign the divorce papers. Ma, please. You will give her everything. The house, the car, the business." Chidi shook his head. "I can't." My mother's voice dropped low, dangerous. "Or we will take this video to the police and to social media." Chidi's eyes went wide. "You can't post that online, please." My mother didn't blink. "Then do the right thing." Chidi looked at his parents. They turned their backs on him. He looked at me. I stared back, cold, empty. "Fine," he whispered. "I'll sign." Within 1 hour, the house was empty. Everyone left. Chidi's family didn't even say goodbye to him. It was just me and my mother. She held my hand. "You are free now, my daughter." I nodded. But I didn't feel free. I felt empty. That night, my phone rang. Unknown number. I answered. A woman's voice, shaking. "Please, don't destroy my daughter. I'm begging you." It was Amaka's mother. Conflicted? "Please," she cried, "don't post that video. It will destroy her future. No man will marry her." Part of me wanted to destroy Amaka completely. Post that video. Let the whole world see what she did. But another part... "Ma," I said quietly, "your daughter destroyed my future first." "I know," she sobbed. "I know, and I'm so ashamed. But please, she's my only daughter." I thought about it, long and hard. I want her to leave Lagos, go back to the village, stay away from me forever. She will, I promise. And I want her to apologize publicly in front of everyone we know. Silence. Then she will do it. Good. Because if she doesn't, that video goes online. 2 days later, Amaka called me. I answered. "Sister, it's me." "I know." "I'm sorry. I was jealous of everything. Your marriage, your house, your life. I wanted what you had." "So you tried to take it?" She sobbed. "I'll do the apology. I'll leave Lagos. Just please don't post that video." I hung up. 1 week later, she sent a voice note, a public apology. She sent it to our church group, our friends, everyone. In it, she confessed everything. People were shocked. Some pitied her, most cursed her. And me, I finally felt peace. But peace didn't last long. 3 months later, I got a call from Chidi's sister. "Sister, please, can we meet? It's about Chidi. It's urgent." I didn't want to, but something in her voice made me say yes. We met at a restaurant. She looked tired, worried. "What's wrong?" I asked. She took a deep breath. "Chidi is in the hospital. He tried to kill himself." I froze. "What?" "He took pills, a lot of them. We found him just in time. I didn't know what to feel. Pity? Anger? Guilt? Why are you telling me this? She looked at me seriously. Because before he passed out, he kept calling your name. I sat there, stunned. He kept saying, I'm sorry. Tell her I'm sorry. Tears filled my eyes. Not because I still loved him, but because it was all so tragic. Do you want to see him? She asked. I thought about it, long and hard. Finally, I shook my head. No. She looked surprised. But I forgive him. I do. But I can't go back there. I can't let him pull me back into that pain. She nodded slowly. I understand. I stood up. Tell him I wish him well. Tell him I hope he heals. But tell him I've moved on. I left the restaurant, got in my car, and I cried. Not for him, but for the girl I used to be. The girl who trusted too much, loved too deeply, believed the best in people. That girl was gone. And in her place, a woman who would never let anyone destroy her again. A woman who knows her worth. A woman who fights back. A woman who survives. That's who I am now. And I'm never going back. Thank you for listening to my story. I know it was long. I know it was painful. But it was my truth. If you're going through something similar, if someone you trust is betraying you, please listen to that voice in your spirit. Document everything. Get proof. And don't be afraid to fight for yourself. You deserve better. You deserve loyalty. You deserve real love. If this story resonated with you, please like this video. Share it with someone who might need to hear it. And subscribe for more real stories from real people. Comment below. Have you ever been betrayed by someone you trusted? How did you handle it? My name is Chidi, and this was my story. Stay strong, stay vigilant, and never, ever let anyone make you feel like you're not enough. Because you are enough. You always were. Chidi is now thriving. She runs a successful business and is focusing on healing and growth. Chidi recovered and is in therapy. Amaka moved away and has not contacted her since.